When we're born, we're given this voice. And sadly, nobody actually teaches us how to use it. Look, if you want to get a promotion at work right now, but you can't articulate yourself properly or you're not an effective communicator, then how are you possibly going to do well getting a promotion? Even if you want to go and get a job right now, how are you going to do well in an interview if you can't communicate and articulate yourself well enough?
Welcome to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James. This episode's a special episode, and the reason for that is, they're all special really, let's be perfectly honest. But the reason for this one is, it's something that I keep getting asked. Jessen, I want to make more money, but I just don't know how. Jessen, I've got an existing business, but not enough people know who I am. Jessen, I'm working in a job right now and I'd love to get a promotion and I just don't know how to do that. Well, look, I'm going to cover some of the things that you can do in this episode to not only help you make more money in your current business, but also think about how you can navigate through life earning more by creating opportunities for yourself, whether that's in your existing job or in your network that you're currently hanging around with. Now, I have to be perfectly honest with every single one of you here right now. They say, when you're looking for something, look under your nose first. Now, what does that actually mean? You see, most of us, we're always looking for the next big thing to help us, the next thing that will help us grow our business, the next thing that will help us make a quick buck, the next thing that will help us get a promotion or make more money at work or whatever it is. We're always looking for that next thing. And that's not a problem as human beings. However, going back to that saying, when you're looking for something, look under your nose first. What am I talking about? Well, did you know the easiest and fastest, most effective and long-lasting way for you to make more money is to use what you've already got? Now, let me explain what I mean. I'm talking about your voice. Your voice. You see, when we're born, we're given this voice. And sadly, nobody actually teaches us how to use it. Look, if you want to get a promotion at work right now, but you can't articulate yourself properly or you're not an effective communicator, then how are you possibly going to do well getting a promotion? Even if you want to go and get a job right now, how are you going to do well in an interview if you can't communicate and articulate yourself well enough? Look, this is happening all over the country. I went to my old school some months back. They asked me to go back there and mentor the year 10s on career advice. And I was speaking to some of them who were quite intelligent. Some of them were like, look, hey, you know what? I want to go to university. I want to study. I want to become a doctor. I want to become a scientist. I want to become a lawyer. I want to do all this kind of stuff, which is great. Here's the problem though. None of them could even look me in the face. None of them could get their words out properly. And none of them could even articulate what they were saying properly. Now, look, I know they were still young, but here's the thing. They were in year 10. Not long after that, they're going to do their GCSEs. Then they're going to go to college. And believe it or not, within the next 5, 6, 7 years, they're going to find themselves in a situation where they're going to have to get a job, go to a job interview or something for their main career. Now, you can have all the A stars in the world and the first honors degrees in the world and all that kind of stuff. You could be the most smartest, most intelligent person when you show up for the interview. However, when you get there and you don't even know how to communicate effectively or look at people in the eye or learn body language, learn vocal tonality, learn how to not and ah and make mistakes and hesitate, learn how to project your voice properly, learn how to speak with certainty and confidence. Unless you know how to do all of this stuff, you are not going to get the job. That's the same with business owners right now. Do you know how many business owners I know that have got great products and great services? Do you know how many startup companies I know that have got great ideas and great products and great services? And sadly, they are not winning business. Do you know why? For the same reason one of those kids who are going to grow up who don't know how to articulate themselves is not going to get their dream job. It's because they don't know how to communicate properly. So why am I sharing this with you? Look, whether you're a business owner or whether you are looking to start a business or whether you're looking to get a new job, go to an interview or get a promotion at work, if you want to be someone who people respect, if you want to be someone that people take seriously, if you want to be someone that has more status as well as more income, then learn to become a better communicator. I'm going to give you one big tip on this podcast right now to help you with that, because I think it's the best I can do in the time that I've got, right? Now, let's think about it. What stops people from being effective speakers? Now, for many of you, you might be going, it's my confidence. Yeah, more than likely. Maybe a lack of confidence. For some of you, it might be a lack of skill, a lack of know-how. I don't know how to do it, Jess. I don't know how to use my vocal ranges. I don't even know what they are. I don't know how to speak with certainty. I don't know how to not and every 5 minutes. I just don't know how. Now, look, think about it. Most of the things that are going through your head right now are becoming a reality. So if you think you can't do something, guess what happens? You can't do it. And that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So every time you put yourself into a situation where you need to stand up and speak, whether that's to stand up and read something in front of a room, or whether that's to present your offer to a client or a prospect, or even just to switch on your Facebook Live and do a live or whatever it is, anytime you're faced with a situation like that, you've already got a narrative in your head telling you can't do it, it's hard, it's difficult. So what happens? You screw up. That's what happens. You hit live on the Facebook page and you don't know what you're going to say. You go to stand up in front of an audience and you freeze. You go to present your offer to someone and you fumble it. And then on your way home, you start hitting yourself in the head going, I should have said this and I should have said that. And you end up having a better sales conversation with yourself on the way home than when you were with your prospect. So what can you learn from this? It's in your head. Change the story. Listen. Many people come to me. I've trained tens of thousands of people all across the world. Many people come to me and say, hey, Jessen, I want to be a better speaker. And I'm like, but you're doing a great job right now. So what's the problem? See, my point is this. You don't need to become a better speaker. You already know how to freaking speak. Every single one of you listening to this right now knows how to speak. The problem is, you don't know how to use your voice properly. You don't understand the art of communication. And the challenge of that is when you're put in front of a stressor, speaking becomes harder. Because look, speaking is an unconscious skill. Look, when you're sitting down having a coffee with your friend, do you need to whip out a script to have the conversation with them? No, you don't. But if I got you to stand in front of a live audience right now and I'd asked you to tell everybody in the room what it is that you do and how you can help them, suddenly people freeze. But then again, if we go back to the coffee shop and I sat you down and say, hey, listen, tell me, what it is that you do and how can you help me? You might be able to actually speak a bit better. So what am I trying to say here? Speaking is an unconscious skill. We make it a conscious one when we are stressed. I'll say that again. Speaking is an unconscious skill. We make it a conscious one when we are stressed. What are the stressors? An audience, a camera lens, having to do a presentation, all these things, the story in our head, they become stressors. So this is the primary thing I work on with people when it comes down to being a better communicator or being a better public speaker. Work on your own state management first. So here are some tips on working on your own state management. Number one, when you go to speak, remember, it's not about you. It's about the person you're speaking to. If it's a face-to-face meeting with someone, if it's a talk you've got to give at work, if it's a presentation you've got to do online, or if it's anything like me standing in front of a stadium of thousands of people needing to deliver a talk on stage, you must remember, first and foremost, it's not about you. It's about them, plain and simple. It's about your audience. You are there to speak for your audience, not for you. So most speakers, this is what rookie speakers do. Rookie speakers and rookie communicators always make it about themselves. What if I mess up? What if I forget what to say? What if I fumble my words? What if I stutter? What if I look like a fool? What if people don't like me? Me. And everything's about me. Stop doing that. Look, professional speakers and professional communicators understand that they are there for one reason and one reason alone, the person that they are speaking to or their audience. And that should be you. So just by shifting the focus from yourself onto your audience or onto your prospect or onto the person that you're speaking to, suddenly everything changes. Even down to getting ready to go into a room to do an interview for a job. Rather than go, oh, I hope they like me. Or what if they don't like me? Or what if I don't get the job? Or what if I forget what to say? Or what if I don't answer the questions correctly? What if I don't even know the answers to the question? You start making it all about you, and then you go into the interview and you fluff it. So even before you go into an interview, before you go there, shift the focus off of you and put it onto them. How can I help them hire me today? Think about that. How can I show up to help them hire me today? How can I help them see the value that I can bring to them? You're making it about them. Same for you if you're going to speak in front of an audience. How can I show up for them today? What do they need to learn from me? Well, how can I serve them to the best of my ability? You're there for them. Even down to selling to a prospect face-to-face, one-to-one. You want to sit down before you go into that meeting and have a good chat with yourself and go, right, how can I help solve their problem today? How can I help them invest with me today? How can I help them make a better buying decision today and not go somewhere else and get ripped off? Always make it about your prospect, make it about the person that you're speaking to, make it about your audience. Don't make it about you. This will massively start to help with your state. By the way, whilst you're listening to this, if you are actually interested in enhancing your communication skills, being a more effective speaker, speaking on stage, speaking on a webinar, speaking face-to-face, being a better communicator, using your voice better, learning the art of language patterns, voice tonality, body language, all these really, really cool things. If you want to start that journey, I've got a gift for you. In the show notes, there'll be a link for you to access a course. It's a 78-minute course broken down into bite-sized chunks that's going to share with you how to become a better communicator. It's got my 5-step speaker accelerator blueprint in there. You can access that. These are the 5 laws when it comes to speaking. You're going to learn those. You're also going to learn the 3 ways to monetize public speaking. There's 3 ways for you to monetize public speaking, which you all need to learn. You're also going to learn in there how to not mess up like most speakers. And what I mean by that is most speakers don't understand the difference between speak to sell and speak to teach, but you will once you get this program. Now, this program is charged for, it's a £197 course, but it's free for you guys right now. If you go to the show notes, it's in the description now of the podcast. If you can't access it for whatever reason, just drop me an email on success@jessenjames.com. That's the word success at Jessen, Jessen, James, JAMES.com, success@jessenjames.com, and ask my team for the free speaker course, and we will send it over to you with our blessings. So look, back to the podcast. If you want to be better at being a speaker, if you want to be better at being a communicator, get out your own head. That's my biggest advice I can give you. There's lots of other things you can do, but it's primarily the first thing that I would get you to do if I was working with you right now. Get out your head. Make it about other people. That will ultimately shift your state. And let's be honest, when you're in a better state, a better frame of mind, you make better decisions. When you make better decisions, you behave better or act better. When you act better, you get better results. That's how it works. So if you want better results, let's reverse engineer it. If you want better results, you've got to behave better. If you want to behave better, make better decisions. If you want to make better decisions, be in a better state when you make those decisions. And for most people, when it comes to speaking, they're either stressed or worried or pressured, and they end up making poor decisions, delivering a poor speech, and ultimately not getting the result that they want, whether that's the promotion at work, the job that they want, or winning that client over and getting the business. So have a think about that. So if you want to make more money, use what you've already got. Remember what I said? When you go looking for something, look under your nose first. Please stop chasing shiny objects and start to channel the gifts that you've already been given. For many of you listening to this right now, you don't just need to use your voice to enhance your business. You don't just need to use your voice to get a promotion. You don't just need to use your voice to be a better communicator. You need to use your voice to help others too. As a speaker myself, I've had the pleasure of impacting the lives of hundreds of thousands of people all across the world just because I used my voice. So look, as a speaker as well, if you're interested in becoming a speaker, I highly recommend you go and start with that free course I've just offered you. Remember, just drop us an email on success@jessenjames.com and we will send you a copy of the free course. Start your journey there. If you look, being a speaker for me is one of the best career moves. Why? Because I get to impact many people and I get paid for it. Get paid via keynote gigs. You get paid to sell your own stuff one to many. You can get paid to create digital assets like this, like a podcast or a membership site, and it pay you for life. So using your voice is actually one of the best tools you can ever have to help you grow both personally, professionally, and financially. Okay, so look, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Mind Over Money podcast. Look, for me, I love doing these things because I love serving and I love helping people. So can you help me to help more people, please? Could you do me a favor? Could you make sure, if you haven't done so already, can you make sure you subscribe? Don't just be one of those lurkers in the background who just listen to stuff. Look, when you start to use your own voice and create your own podcast, you're going to want people to actually subscribe to yours too, right? So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe across all of the platforms that you're currently listening on, whether that's Spotify, Apple, wherever it is that you're listening to. Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. Make sure you leave us a review as well. Your reviews massively help other people who are stumbling across the podcast make a decision whether they want to listen or not. So please help me to help more people. You know, I never ask for anything. I just want to help you guys as much as I can. So please get people to subscribe to it themselves, share it with other people, leave us a review, maybe share this episode with someone that you love right now. Maybe they need to hear this, I don't know, okay? So I appreciate you so much, and until next time, I will see you very soon. Just remember to make sure you do all those things I just asked you to, and make sure that you listen to this podcast again if you want to refresh your memory on what you can be doing right now to monetize your voice. So I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next episode of the Mind Over Money podcast.
You've been listening to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on all the channels, links in the show notes. Please also leave a review and visit www.jessenjames.com to find more resources on how to create the life you deserve.